Hey there, it's Danielle Burnock from DanielleBurnock.com, that lady on the internet who loves you, coming to you live from my car. So I'm waiting to pick up my granddaughter from school, and I was doing some research today, and I heard something the other day, and the things mushed together. I started really thinking about a different view of shame. I hate shame. I'm against shame. I've written about it, that shame is never good, never, 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 no shame, never. Shame is always bad. If you've heard from me before, you know this about me. But this was just so interesting. I heard a Bible verse the other day, and it just stuck out because that word shame was in it. And it had to do with Jesus. And then I read this article today, and it was talking about something that's also in that Bible verse, and it was on Psychology Today. It was just so intriguing to me because I hate shame. The difference, shame is always bad because shame attacks who you are. I mean, you can be guilty of something and you don't have to have shame. Shame is bad. Shame and guilt are two different things. Guilt is about something you did, and shame is about who you are. And you are a wonderful creation of God no matter what you have done. I love you. I come on here to tell you that all the time. But this verse in the Bible talked about Jesus, for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross, despising the shame. And when I first heard that just the other day, I'm not the first time, I've heard it a million times, but that word, did Jesus despise the shame? What rose up in me is, yeah, see, Jesus despised shame too. Jesus hates shame too, because shame is bad. It's awful. But Jesus suffered shame because he was despising it. I mean, there's evidence. Jesus suffered shame. I was thinking about that. Well, that means that feeling shame does not mean you're guilty of something. We have a tendency to think that if I feel ashamed, that means I must be guilty of something. Jesus was not guilty of anything. He was innocent. Yet he felt shame, and he despised it. But right before that, it talks about for the joy that was set before him. The joy. The joy. And in that article today, it was talking about these people who are Jungian analysts. And they have this podcast. And this one therapist, she will ask her clients, do you feel like your parents enjoyed you? And they always get stuck like they never thought of that. Wow, enjoyed me, because they say, oh, my parents loved me and I had a good childhood and all that jazz people will say. But have you ever thought about using that word? Did you feel like your parents enjoyed being your parents? Do you feel like they enjoyed you, that they got joy and pleasure out of having you as a child and being your mom or dad? I've never thought of that before. And in that article after that, he said that another lady said that when you have that lack, when you grow up and you feel like no one ever enjoyed me, no one ever enjoyed me. She called that relational trauma. Relational trauma is a lot more than just that, but I just had never connected that before. Did you grow up feeling like no one ever enjoyed you? I thought about growing up in my book, Emerging with Wings, and chapter 3 about my husband and the unconditional love that I sensed from him. And I could say that, yeah, I felt like he enjoyed me, being with me, just who I was. And then I thought of how in the Bible it talks about how the Father says about Jesus, this is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased. And for the joy that was set before, he had joy. The Father took pleasure in him. And when shame entered the human race, it was after, the fall. And so I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at this article, I'm looking at what the scripture about Jesus, and thinking about, is shame really a loss of joy? Is it a loss of joy that we have a right to be enjoyed? We were created to be enjoyed. We were created for a sense of pleasure, which is why when we get messed up, we try and cram all that pleasure in there. I want you to think about that. I'm going to be thinking about it some more, because this whole thought process just came to me today, and I'm sharing it with you because I want you to chew on it. I want you to think about it. Is part of your things you wrestle with, or maybe addictions you're running to, or things that you're doing to get you in trouble, is that you're trying to get a sense of enjoyment that you're lacking? Do you have shame because you're lacking a joy? Do you feel that shame there? Is it because joy is lacking? There's a sense of enjoyment that is lacking. And is that how I got healed? When I say love heals, because I started to understand and feel that God enjoys me. I am beloved of God. You are beloved of God. God enjoys you, even when you mess up. I enjoy my kids. I love my kids. And I guess I'm going to have to ask them, do you feel like I enjoy you? Because I want to make sure that they have that sense. And when we feel like God enjoys us, then we can enjoy him. Because when Jesus was feeling despised, it was those who were supposed to love him were hating on him. He had a lack of joy, but he was looking to the joy later. He knew that joy was going to come back. That joy was going to be restored. And we can have that joy be restored in our lives, in our relationships, and with God. Wherever you have it lacking, it can be restored. And if you need someone to help you walk into that, maybe chew on this with you, to coach you through so that you can receive the joy that you deserve, then go to my website and the coaching tab, and let's start the process to get you from feeling shame to feeling like you are a joy and a delight, because you are. So until next time, I love you.